All right, so this video is going to be in regards to establishing and building your credit. We're going to start with letting you know that you can go to annualcreditreport.com. The link will be down in the description. Now, by law, annualcreditreport.com, you're entitled to one free credit report every single year. So with today being December 23rd, 2018, I say go ahead and do it. That way, in a couple of weeks, you can go ahead and get another free credit report. But the reason that we want to do this is to see who you may owe. That way we can take a look into actually doing what I call the snowball effect. Let's say, for example, if you owe a company $200 and there's another one that you owe $1,000 to. Well, you want to start with the smaller one. That way you start to see progress over time. That way your credit score will most likely go up because your credit to debt ratio should go up. Like your credit to debt ratio, it's going to balance out. It's something that you can work on over time. That way you can keep a record and see how far you have come. Because if you follow these techniques, I promise your score will go up. I promise. We want to go to, there's creditkarma.com. There's Credit Sesame. Now, I personally use Credit Karma religiously. I check that bad boy. It updates every 7 days as far as I know. I'm always checking to see what my score may have gone up to. So in Credit Karma, you can take a look at what your score may be at. You're going to see your TransUnion and your Equifax. Yeah. I would say for you to go ahead and apply through your bank for whether it be a secured card or an unsecured card. I feel that the likelihood of you being approved is better because they see your income, they see who you are, you've been working with them for however long you've been working with them. So you can reach out to your bank for a secured card or secured loan. You can also do this. This is why I like Credit Karma, because you can see your approval odds before you, because the last thing you want to do is take a hit with a hard inquiry. As far as I know, a hard inquiry can take your score down from like 5 to 13 points. It shouldn't be much, just a couple points, but nonetheless, you don't want any type of hit at all. So with whatever card it is that you decide to go with, just make sure that your credit card utilization is 30% and down. Some people say 10% and down. Some people say 7% and down. But this is a way to make sure that your score moves up every single month. Every single month that snapshot occurs. Now, when I say snapshot, what I mean is when your statement prints, you want to reach out to your financial institution to see when your statement prints. Like, say, for example, in my own life, my next due date is January 1st. Now, my snapshot occurs about 3 days after that. On the 4th, my snapshot is going to occur. So what I do, I make sure that my credit card utilization is 30% and down, and then I make sure that I do not touch my card until that snapshot takes place. Now, when that snapshot takes place, I use my card for whatever it is that I want. Gas, groceries, the essentials, whatever it is. But just make sure that your credit card utilization, that snapshot, that's one of the most important things, regardless of what anyone tells you. That's how I feel. That's what my experience says. You end up with a loan, like whether it be an installment loan, like say, for example, whatever it is that you're paying, whatever it is you're financing, make sure that you are paying on time. Sometimes it works to actually pay ahead. You know, it's whatever works for you. One technique that I utilize in my own life is to see who's taking a look at me via soft inquiries. So say, for example, with this annualcreditreport.com that I'm telling you about, I go there, and as of right now, for whatever reason, Experian is actually letting me take a look at my scores for free. If I try to do TransUnion or Equifax, it just won't show. They say you already have yours for the year. For whatever reason, as long as I answer the right questions, they let me take a look and see who's been looking at me. And that's a better way to avoid being denied, because what some people do, what some companies do, they're taking a look at you and seeing how you're doing with your finances. Then you can go ahead. So another way to tell is when you go to check your mail, when you get these offers in the mail, say, oh, you've been pre-approved for this. That means that they taken a look at your score. Now, if you go through and actually apply, that's when you will receive that hard inquiry. But the chances have increased as long as nothing has changed. So from the time, and they'll tell you when they took a look, from the time where they took a look, and as long as you haven't had any negative reports or anything, then the likelihood of you being approved increases. Because remember, we want to avoid hard inquiries, especially if you're not going to be approved for the line of credit or approved for that loan. That's not what we want to do. Once you get a little more advanced with it, we start getting higher offers. Like in my own life, I just recently checked the mail. I had an offer for a card for about $1,500, another one for a loan for $1,000, another one American Airlines. They wanted to give me a card. Now I say, do whatever it is that you want to do, but once you get a little more advanced with it, that's when we get into what's called credit card churning. Like you start getting more hip to game, that's where you can take a look at bigger financial institutions, because then they start to offer sign-up bonuses. Like in my own life, I'm waiting for one particular financial institution, and that's Chase Bank. The reason that I'm waiting for them to reach out to me is because they have what they call the 524 rule, meaning that you cannot have 5 new accounts within the last 24 months to qualify for one of their cards with the sign-up bonus that we're talking about. Now, with these sign-up bonuses, last I looked at one of Chase's, you can get 60,000 points when you spend $1,000 or more. More I look into sign-up bonuses with bigger financial institutions, I think about people who coupon. I think about people in line, like those people that go to Publix, and it's like Publix is damn near paying them, you know? All right, so quick personal story that I wanted to share with you. There was a time where I just thought I was so smart with this credit card utilization. I said, oh man, the lower the better, right? So one time I left one of my accounts with Capital One down to $1. And I look, the next day they actually credited me $1. So I call them, I say, why did you remove that dollar? She put me on hold. She could not figure out. I said, well, why don't you just do this all the time? So that didn't sit well with me. So I went ahead, did my research. I found out it's kind of like there comes a point where you start to feed these financial institutions crumbs, because they make money off that interest. So you don't want them to make money off you. Like I didn't want them to make money off of me. So remember, they make interest off the balance that you leave on your account. So I call myself smart by leaving my Capital One account down to $1. That's where they actually credit it. So it's like I was trying to feed them crumbs because I didn't want them to make any interest off me. So it's like they slapped it out of my hand. They said, you won't give me what I want, so you won't eat either. And sure enough, I checked my credit that month, and since it was down to 0%, you would think that that would be lovely. You would think that I would be the ideal person. No, my credit score did not move because it looked like I was not using my card. And also with some financial institutions, if you have zero utilization for 2 months in a row, they'll close it. Because why would they want to do business with you when they're not making money off of you? So be careful with that. All right, so just to recap, we got annualcreditreport.com. We have Credit Karma, which I use religiously. We got Credit Sesame, whatever works for you. Remember to always take a look at your soft inquiries to avoid these hard inquiries, because remember, these hard inquiries stay on your credit report for 2 years. Once you get a little more advanced with it, that's where we look at these bigger financial institutions in regards to these sign-up bonuses. And with these sign-up bonuses, that's what I'm shooting for. That's what I'm going for, because I'm working toward an investment property. But on the way, I'm learning these different techniques. So say, for example, you can use these sign-up bonuses for flights. Like if you want to take vacation, you're like, how are people vacationing like this? What are they doing? And some people, like this one guy, he actually used his sign-up bonus for his wedding. And I'm like, damn. So this is just some information that I came into that I wanted to share with you in regards to the sign-up bonuses, because when you start to work toward it, you get a little more advanced with it. That's where you can use it to your benefit. You can go ahead, take a look at these soft inquiries to avoid these hard inquiries. Then we're going to get a little more advanced with these bigger financial institutions when it comes to these sign-up bonuses. That way you can travel more, whatever it is that you want to do, enrich your life. Take advantage of these offers. So one way to do this is by slowly getting your score up there. Be careful with authorized users because they do have access to your money. So anybody that you're considering adding, let them know how sincere you are about your credit. Let them know you want to enrich your life just how you want to enrich theirs. We get into what I consider generational wealth when you add, say, for example, your child as an authorized user. That way, surely their score will go up over time. I hope that you found some value in this. Please like, share, subscribe. Thank you.